Booleans and Boolean operators. We'll start with Booleans. They're pretty simple actually, it's just something that's either true or false. And it can be a statement like this. Is James wearing a watch? False. Is James wearing an awesome hat? True. And that's really it. And their operators, well, they're like math operators that you've been using forever. So think addition. It takes two numbers and produces another number. So we're going to talk about Boolean operators, and there's different kinds. And first we'll talk about ones that take Booleans and produce other Booleans. So the first one, the easiest one, is just not. It turns anything from true to false and false to true. So is James not wearing a watch? True. Is James not wearing a hat? False. See, I am wearing a hat, so that's true, but if you not the true, it becomes false. So that's false. The next one is and. And takes two Booleans and produces another Boolean. And it only produces true if both conditions are true. Otherwise, it's false. So if I ask you, is James wearing a watch and is James wearing a hat? False. Is James holding a cat and wearing a hat? True. False now. Is James wearing a hat and is he covered in a lot of cat hair? True. If both conditions were false, it would also be false. The last one we'll talk about for this type of operator is the or operator. And it makes sense in terms of the language you use every day. Basically, it's true unless both conditions are false. So, is James wearing a hat or is James wearing a watch? True, because I have one of the conditions that are true. Is James wearing a hat and is James covered in a lot of cat hair? True. Sometimes people get tripped up because they think if both conditions are true, it should be false, but that's not the case with regular old or. If both conditions are true, it's still going to be true with regular old or. There's another operator that I'm not really going to talk about right now called exclusive or, which is only true if one or the other is true, but never true if both are true. Just ignore it for now, however. We can type this into Python just by saying, well, let's start with just simple Boolean operators in the interpreter. So let's start with just a Boolean. True. That's true. What about not true? Well, that's false. Not false. True. What about true and false? Well, that's false. True and true? That's true. True or false? True. The last bunch of operators I'm going to talk about are ones you've probably been using again for a long time. So the first one is this. 5 is equal to 5, right? Yeah. Notice there's two equal signs here. That is, it checks for an equivalency and it returns a Boolean, true or false. If it was a single equals, then it would be an assignment. But because we have two equals, it's checking a condition. What about 4? Is 4 equal to 5? False. It's not. But 4 is less than 5, right? Is 5 less than 5? No, it's not. It's equal to. In fact, there's another type of one that we can see here called 5 is less than or equal to 5. Well, that's true. Oops, typo. 5 is less than or equal to 5. There we go. That's true. And you can also use the greater than as well in the same way. There's another one. The not equal to will end with that. 4 is not equal to 5. That's an exclamation point followed by an equal. And that's true. Is 5 not equal to 5? Oops, 5 not equal to 5. There we go. It's false because 5 is in fact not equal to 5.